Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome everyone. So we will start our class with the opening prayer. Can I call GB 12370 for the opening prayer? Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Okay, can you please read A'udhu Billah and then I'll change the slide.
A'udhu billahi I seek refuge with Allah from Satan the rejected. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful. Oh my Lord, teach me what is best for me in your knowledge.
Jazakallah jaza. Okay, so I'll quickly remind everyone about the class etiquettes. I hope that before joining the class, everyone did wuzu. Make sure that you're wearing clean clothes. Your head should be covered with a scarf or a cap throughout the class. Make sure that you're sitting in a quiet place. Okay, this is very important, especially when you come on the mic. Because if I can't hear you properly, or if the other students can't hear you properly, then we don't have a choice but to mute you and select another student. Okay. We hope that a parent or an elder sibling is present with you or someone from your family. Okay. Make sure that you're using the correct ID. This is very important so we can send you to your correct breakout rooms. Okay. So before we proceed with today's class, I would like to remind everyone that inshallah we'll be having our annual award ceremony on the 29th of January. Okay, so in the award ceremony, the students usually take part, okay, for these activities. We have tilawat, translation, hadith, translation of hadith, saying of the Promised Messiah Islam, nazm, and translation of the nazm. Okay, so these are all the activities you can choose from. Yesterday, the in charge went through this in detail. Okay, so I'm not going to go through everything again. You can find this document in the Google Drive. Okay, so if you don't have the link to the Google Drive, if you can't access it, I've just shared the link in chat. Okay, so if you copy that link and go to the Google Drive, you will be able to see this document about annual award ceremony. Okay, and it has all the details of what you need to send exactly and how you need to do it. Okay, so for example, when you send tilawat, make sure that you say tilawat, your name, student ID, and course ID at the beginning of the recording. Okay, and when you send us the email, make sure to write tilawat, your name, student ID, and course ID on the subject, in the subject box as well. Okay. Similarly, if you're sending translation of tilawat, so just change the activity name. Okay, just say tilawat translation, your name, student ID, and course ID. Okay, the same goes for all the other activities. If you're sending nazm, mention nazm. If you're sending saying of Promised Messiah Islam, mention that. The deadline to send all these recordings is Sunday, 15th of January. Okay, so keep that in mind. You have to send it by this week. Okay, Sunday is the deadline. Send your recordings to students@ithqa.org.uk, and that's it. Okay, so I would like to request all students, please try to send at least one recording, okay, for one of these activities. Make sure to participate in some way. Okay. The other thing that I need to announce is that for this award ceremony, we need some feedback. Okay, So what we've done is we've created a feedback form, and we need the feedback of both students and teachers. Okay, so I'll share the link to the feedback form now. Just bear with me a second. Okay, so I've shared the link to the feedback form in the chat. Okay, it's a Google form. Okay, so when you click on the link, it will ask you for your name, your ID, and it will ask you for some general feedback regarding the NL1 course. Okay, and after that, it asks for feedback for some specific aspects of the course as well. Okay, so just try to answer as many questions as you can, give as much feedback as you can, and we will show that feedback, we will share that feedback in the annual award ceremony, inshallah. Okay, so please do those two things. Okay, so now we are going to move on to today's lesson. In today's class, we are covering the rule of Idgham Naqis. Okay, so if you remember, Idgham is to merge, okay, assimilate, and Naqis means incomplete, okay, or partial. So partial assimilation. For those of you who have the book Talimul-Qur'an, you can find this rule on page 84. Okay, so once we've covered this rule, we'll go into our breakout rooms where you can do some revision and some practice with your breakout room teachers. Okay, so you can revise any verses which were given as part of homework on Monday or Tuesday. Okay, so you can practice those with your teacher, and after the class, you can practice as your teacher has guided you. So your teacher might give you some specific feedback. If you think that you need to work on that feedback, you can do that. Okay, or you can start your homework. So the homework for today is Surah Al-Anfal, verse 15 to verse 20. Okay. In terms of your Juz 9 journey, we have almost done a little over 3/4. Okay, so we've covered more than 3/4 and you're left with just a little bit. Okay, less than a quarter of this Juz. Okay, so if you're following the reading plan, which is for this course, then this is how far how far you've come in Juz 9. Okay. So today we are doing the rule of Idgham. So as part of this course, we will look at a group of rules of Noon Sakin and Tanween. Okay. And one of those rules is known as Idgham. So what is Idgham? When we have a Noon Sakin or Tanween, we have to observe a nasal sound. Okay. But what kind of nasal sound? Does it have to be strong? Does it have to be like for 1 second, for 2 seconds? So there are rules that tell us what that nasal sound is, okay? How strong it has to be, for how long do we have to do it, etc. And how do we find out which rule applies? So we find out by looking at the next letter after the Noon Sakin or Tanween, okay? The next letter decides the nasal sound, okay? The strength of the nasal sound. So we have to always look at the next letter. So today we are looking at what we have to do, or what rule we have to apply when we see a Noon Sakin or Tanween followed by Mim Mushaddad or Noon Mushaddad. Okay, so when you see a Noon Sakin or Tanween followed by a Mim Mushaddad or a Noon Mushaddad, okay, a Mim with the Tashdid or Noon with the Tashdid, we have to make a strong nasal sound for 2 seconds. Okay, this is called Idgham Naqis. So partial assimilation. So we'll look at some examples and hopefully it will make more sense after that. So here we have an exercise. again from Talimul-Qur'an. So I've highlighted the examples which are related to today's lesson. Here you can see we have a nun sakin, and straight after that we have a meme with the tashdid sign on top. Okay, so meme mushaddad. So in this case, what do we have to do? We have to merge the nun sakin into the meme mushaddad. And that is what idgham is all about. Okay, merging. But because it's a meme mushaddad specifically, we have to also do a nasal sound, okay, for 2 seconds. So I'll select a student 3121. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine too. And are you understanding today's lesson all right?
Yes.
Okay, so here, let's go through the first example. Sorry about that. So I've explained that we have to apply the rule of Idgham Naqis here, okay, partial assimilation. And whenever we have to do partial assimilation, the rule says that we have to do a nasal sound, okay? In this case, we have to do a 2-second nasal sound. So the way we say this word is akum ma'ahum, and underneath this, to facilitate, to show you what's actually going on, this is how we are actually reading it. Okay, as you can see, the nun sakin is not written here because we are merging these two words. Okay, but in the Quran, this is how it's written. So this is how it will be written. This is just there to show you how we are reading it. So can you read this as well?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أكون معهم.
Excellent, well done. So can you read the next example yourself? This one?
Yeah. ولا أمة مؤمنة.
Excellent, well done. Just one thing, you did it right. We do have to do a jerk on Hamza, but it has to be a soft jerk. Okay, we can't, if we do a very strong jerk, then the sound kind of sounds like Ain, the letter Ain. Okay, so let's try this one more time. Wala amatum mu'minatun.
Okay. ولا أمة مؤمنة.
Okay, that was much better. And earlier you said mu'minah. That is also right. If this word came in the Quran and we were to pause here, that's how we will say it. Okay, mu'minah. So very good. Let's have a look at the next example.
Okay. بروج مشيدة.
Okay, that's fine. So make sure to prolong this for 2 seconds. What is this here? Do you know?
Muhammad.
And that's right. So we have to prolong it for 2 seconds. بروج مشيدة.
بروج مشيدة.
Very good. So as all of you can see, that all of these examples are nun sakin or tanween followed by mim mushaddad. Okay, so let's have a look now at an example of nun sakin followed by nun mushaddad. Okay, because that's what today's lesson is about. Nun sakin or tanween followed by either mim mushaddad or nun mushaddad. So the rule that we are applying remains the same. Okay, the rule is going to be Idgham Naqis. The only thing that's changing is the letter. after the noon sakin. So here in this example, we have a noon sakin followed by noon mushaddad. So how will you say this? How will you read it? 3121, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Min nafsin.
Okay, that was very good. Let's make the nasal sound, the ghunna, a bit stronger. Min nafsin.
Min nafsin.
Okay, you don't have to. Okay, can you say that again?
Min nafsin.
Okay, so you don't have to do that. You're trying to apply a different rule here. Okay, we have to read this as min nafsin.
Okay. Min nafsin.
Okay, one more time.
Min nafsin.
Okay, that was much better. Jazakallah khairan jazaa. So that's it for today's lesson. I hope that everyone can remember. If we have a noon sakin or tanween followed by a mim mushaddad or a noon mushaddad, we have to apply rule of Idgham Naqis, which just means partial assimilation. Okay, and what is Idgham Naqis? It basically tells us that we have to do a nasal sound for 2 seconds. If it's a mim mushaddad or a noon mushaddad, we have to do a strong nasal sound.